There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
From your glade.
That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Well, I think the biggest unsolved mystery of all, one that keeps coming up again and again,
I swear to God, if you mention what I think you're going to mention, I'm going to be so pissed.
There's so many, there's just been, people have heard from direct sources, people have analyzed from the outside, time has now gone forward since the incident.
I'm so sick of this.
But I can't
get enough of it.
Within our world, the biggest unsolved mystery has to be, again, who took a shit in the tub.
All right, I am so done with this conversation.
Metropolitan.
Who shat in the tub? Henry Zabrowski, you admitted to it. Whether
did not.
in
That
jest
was a
or not,
bit.
whether it be a bit or not, there was a trial of the mystery pooper. You can listen to it on the Round Table of Gentlemen. It's been solved. I need to put the past behind me, and I need you, I'm pointing at Marcus and Henry, to allow me to move on with my life. I have been punished, and I didn't even do anything wrong, because I, Benjamin Grant Kissel, did not shit in the tub.
I mean, I think it's funny that that's exactly where your mind went, because I thought he was going to talk about Skundili Man.
No.
Don't say his name ever again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is the last podcast on the left. I am Ben with Marcus and Henry. This is a relaxed
I'm speaking of putting things in the past, all right? The S-man has gone out of control.
Yes, he has.
But I'm not talking about in your cynical way. I'm talking about we've unleashed something into the world, something that was a private part of my life that now is becoming realer and realer.
Yes, it is. And amazing fan art. We have amazing fan art.
But it's
Thank
very,
you.
very big. But yes, there is one line of thought that Kissel did not shit in the tub. But there's a lot of there's a lot of thought.
I wasn't there.
There's a lot of different
Two
thoughts.
people took a shower before Lexi, Holden's now wife, stepped in human dung, and it was Mike, my former roommate who I love with all my heart, or Holden. Yeah, you make the choice.
I don't know. It just seems to be it's the way you sound like a man trapped in a corner. Like you sound like Marvin Heemeyer. You sound like a unreasonable man driven to do unreasonable things by a quote unquote system that doesn't understand him anymore. But it seems like you're flailing against a world that is evolving and searching for truth.
Would I take a dump in the White House tub? Yes.
Yeah.
If I was in the White House and I was really
I'll set
raging
fire to the
against the
whole fucking
machine.
building.
Well, sure, you can say that in a parody sense.
This is parody. I would take a rocket launcher into the White House and I would shoot it right into the Oval Office.
But you would hold on a second. You would take a rocket launcher into the White House, but then you realize when you destroy the White House, you're inside of it.
Yeah, man, fucking bringing it all down. They'll see me dancing upon the rubble like Nero. But I will say the way to do it is you go in there and you say it's a bouquet of flowers. You have a big box. It's a bouquet of flowers. Want to congratulate Mr. Trump on a big win, 150K or dead.
He
killed Herman Cain with his bare
He killed
hands.
Herman Cain. He murdered Herman Cain.
He murdered Herman Cain. But I would just get right in there, and I would in a parody world, I would kill everyone in there.
All right, so check out the Mystery Pooper, the trial of the Mystery Pooper. It descends into chaos.
The Round Table of Gentlemen is, of course, the show you'd have to go to for that one.
Yes, of course. And Marcus, he's always had my back. Marcus, you don't believe I shat in the tub.
I have my own theories. I have two theories as to who shat in the tub, neither of which I'll go into now, but Ben Kissel, you were not involved in either.
Wow. This is like the deep conspiracy world, like kind of what we were talking about in Side Stories this week about how there's a lot of double conspiracy thought that UFOs, like the traditional storyline of UFOs starting in 1945 with Roswell, all of that bullshit was another 4D chess move done by the Pentagon. And they've been thinking ever since at that time saying, we'll set up this whole storyline so we can fly whatever we want in the skies. And everyone will just say, it's the UFO. But I think that takes more coordination than anything else.
What does 4D chess even mean? Does that mean you have smell-o-vision? Does that what is 4D chess? I don't like. What would that actually be?
If we're going with the actual definition of 4D, that would mean that they play chess also through time, which I'm not sure if playing chess through time is possible.
You could do it by letter.
I can't even play Words with Friends. I can't even do that stupid ass game where your friends are supposed to fill in a word or whatever. And like
It's Scrabble. You're saying you can't play Scrabble.
No, because the other person that you play it with doesn't play it on the right time, or they play it too much. We've already talked about it.
We've gotten into this
It's so
very,
stupid.
very deep. Especially chess with friends. It's like, where are these people? I thought I had friends.
No. But speaking of games, I have been playing Last of Us 2. Again, thank you so much for that personal shout out. They wrote, hail yourself and hail me. And I believe even a Magustulation showed up there at some point, perhaps, a few times in that game. And I have been living vicariously through what I believe is a 14-year-old girl who is experiencing or experimenting with lesbianism. And I think that's wonderful.
Oh, she's not experimenting, buddy. She is full-on lesbian.
You're not a girl,
so
not yet a woman.
I don't know what's going on. Currently, I'm killing zombies as Ellie. She is badass, but it did take me a second to flip my brain into the psyche of a teenage girl, and it is a lot of drama. I don't understand how anyone survived their teens.
We remember after covering the Slenderman attempted murder last week when we see the world of the 13-year-old is filled with like sexual desire and thoughts of murder and you know, everybody's thirsting after Timothy Chalamet ding dong.
My goodness gracious, Marcus, you didn't prepare me mentally for how difficult this journey was going to be.
I wanted you to go into it completely blind. I wanted you to experience the full Last of Us experience with no preconceptions. But the next game you should play is definitely Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, I totally will, because Marcus described it as, what is it? It's a ninja, basically ninja.
Samurai Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah!
It's the best game I've played since Witcher 3. It's fantastic.
I can't fucking wait, dude. I can't wait to get into this. I love the games.
Yes, but not that the multi-billion-dollar gaming industry needs our help or support. But Last of Us 2 thus far has been absolutely beautiful, and I'm still amazed at what they can do, because you can see the grass moving. You can see the horse tail flapping around trying to arouse you. It's incredible what these video games can do. Now I sound like a 90-year-old man.
You do.
Ben, they've been able to do that for 10 years.
It's been a while.
15.
And if you're not still amazed by it,
Nintendo 64.
if you are not still amazed by it, then aren't you not looking at how amazing the world is?
You're also just not at enough milligrams on your edible intake, because that's what's truly important. What I love is eating as many edibles as I can stand, sitting in front of God of War, and there are times Nat has walked in to me playing the video game just going, that dragon's so big. Oh, I'm small in this. But I tell you what, if I eat another box of fucking couscous, I'm going to be playing a couple of 5D chess. You know what I'm talking about? My back hurts from the size of my breasts.
What is going on here?
Yeah, Ben, if you're impressed with the grass physics, wait till you get to the chord physics. Oh, that's going to be impressive.
The chord physics?
Yeah, no. Trust me, it's a gigantic achievement.
Okay, I'm very, very excited about it.
Chord physics sounds like playing all the veins in Sylvester Stallone's arms, like an ocarina or a violin.
Man, you gotta. I was looking at some bodybuilders the other day on Instagram. I got into bodybuilder Instagram. They get big, and there's this guy Brian Cage who's in the AEW, and he has grown parts of his body that I didn't know could grow.
They find little muscles and they make them
big.
They make them big. And I was looking. Nat caught me the other day watching a bunch of bodybuilders on Instagram.
I'm not jealous of them though. I think they're too big.
No, I think they're fascinating. I love how much they eat. I love that they make the grunts, and I showed them to Natalie, and she's like, "Are you trying to tell me you're bi? Like, is this like a thing? Are you sexually obsessed with these men?"
Please?
And I was like, "I'm not. I mean, who knows?"
I had a very sexual dream the other day with a man involved. So that should help when we were pitching the shows. I'll make sure to tell everyone in Hollywood. I'll make sure.
I like a smaller man. If I was going to go for one, a small one, a fey one.
Okay.
One with like little feet and a long nose.
You want a hobbit?
No, one skinnier than a hobbit.
So you want yourself, but skinny.
I guess.
That
but
is
not even me, but not hirsute. He'd have to be hairless.
This is very strange.
Hairless and he'd have to be
Are you
hairless and
allowed next to
slinky.
playgrounds?
I'm just saying.
What are you? You're describing a child.
I'm describing a woman. In a way, I just wish I wish a slinky, like slight man with breasts.
With breasts and a vagina, not a penis.
I mean, you know what though? But in the dark.
You could definitely feel the difference between a vagina and a penis.
You could just imagine it's something like a huge old clit.
We're not in prison. We don't have to do that right now. Thank God. Strongman Eddie, if you want to watch a documentary on strongmen. Speaking of how much they eat, I was watching this documentary and he was complaining. He's like, I got to wake up at 4 a.m. and I got to eat. And he has to have like 1,700 calories per meal. And I was like, you fucking little bastard complaining about this shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to feel sympathy for you? I did that and I didn't work out.
What's his name? Brian Shaw? Is that the Canadian guy that was the world's strongest man? I forget his name. But watching him house 2 lasagnas and him just being like, I'm just fucking sick of this. And it's like, you're like 50 Garfields. This is an incredible existence.
Marcus, I understand that would be very stressful for you if you had to eat because you hate eating.
Well, it's not that I hate eating. I actually enjoy eating. I just find eating highly annoying. I find the idea that I have to eat at least twice a day to be an extremely annoying feature of being human.
I like the sensual feeling of food going down my throat.
It's fine.
That's what I've sort of realized over time. Is I like the activity of eating.
Yeah, I know. I've been eating a lot of salads lately. I've been going to Health Nut here in Sherman Oaks. It's called Health Nut. So they come on all the food. But semen is not bad for you. Technically, it's very good protein.
You can put it on your face, too. It makes your skin tighter, apparently. You can put it in your hair, and it makes it look like a spider lives in there.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have a lot to talk about today.
We really jumped off the reservation. None of this is what the show is about. This is not what the last podcast is about.
The last podcast is about mysteries, both explained and unexplained. And on today's episode, Marcus has done a bit of research, as he always does, because he is addicted to work, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore. Marcus loves to work, okay?
Really, it's more that work is absolutely necessary for success. That's more what it is. Yeah.
Addicted to success.
I don't like working. I don't like it.
The only people who like working are people who don't have jobs.
Technically, you just had for work this week, Henry. You had to smoke a bunch of weed vapes.
That was work.
But that was work. Technically, it was work because we're doing it.
I did as a big deal for our company. We're going to be moving. You'll see. You're going to see all the moves we're making.
You'll see. But let's get into some of these unsolved mysteries, shall we, Mr. Parks?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do a ton of work. I read a couple, like an article on oxygen.
Oh, so you didn't do a lot of work. So you just complained about all the work you did, and now you just immediately admitted that you didn't do any work.
I read an article on oxygen and an article on Vice, about,
That's
famous...
the amount of work that I do, and I don't complain.
But I also wrote.
He did right. But I will say, that, again, this is not remotely tied to the new Netflix version of Unsolved Mysteries. We're not getting paid by them. I wonder... if we should have been, if we should have organized that, if we should have maybe pitched this to Netflix to say, hey, we're going to talk about Unsolved Mysteries on the show, not just Unsolved Mysteries, lowercase u, lowercase m. We're going to talk about proper noun Unsolved Mysteries because there was stuff that came out that we want to talk about that's kind of behind the scenes. But if you watch the new season of Unsolved Mysteries, have you watched all the episodes yet, Marcus?
Yeah, I've watched almost all of them, yeah.
The one with Pam Endress, where she goes missing outside of her hair salon. And I think it's fiance or husband, Rob Endress. I believe that it was either or a boyfriend. They were close. And I remember he is obviously he's the suspicious one of the episode. And the only way to describe it is that he looks like if George Zimmerman lost his hair. Right?
Oh, okay.
He looks like he's a Zimmerman, you'd call him a Zimmerman if you saw him. It's that type of person. But he goes on to describe in the show about how when he finally saw the remains of his ex, Pam, right? The person that it went missing. But how, do you see this shit, Kissel?
I didn't see this one.
He talked about how when they showed him all the skull and the bones, that they left him, he asked for time alone with them, right?
Oh my
Which
goodness.
is the most suspicious thing of all, right?
Yeah.
Which is I would expect this out of dog meat, but I know that he would just be measuring them to see if they'd go on his shelf.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really hope when I do die, if that does happen, Herman Cain has passed away, so I know death is real. I'm going to put you on. You do keep my bones, Marcus, or a piece of my body.
We're putting this on.
If I got room to store them, I will.
We're going to put
If you
Kissel...
got room to store them,
Kissel.
you can't move one of your horse skeletons for my femur bone.
I already have a
I'll
plan.
keep your femur bone. Yeah, sure. But your
Thank
skeleton is fucking enormous.
It's really very big. So my goal is I already have a plan for all of this. We're not even need to put him in storage because he's going to be a roving show. We're going to put him in a glass case with a big chicken leg. We're going to put him in there with like showing all the different things that he's bigger than. And like a watermelon. We're going to put a fire hydrant.
Everyone's bigger than a watermelon.
But then I'll put like Muggsy Bogues, professional basketball
Everyone's
player.
bigger than Muggsy Bogues.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see just how much bigger. Yeah, in scale. And then we'll
So you're going to kill Muggsy Bogues in order to get his skeleton to make this exhibit a reality.
I honestly think we could probably just pay Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah,
like
we hire Muggsy Bogues.
to come in and like just like
Around my
bounce the ball
skeleton.
around you, just to, like him like, and then we'll lift up a string attached to one of your arms to block one of his shots, you know, and everyone will go like, yay. But Rob Endress, when he goes in to see the remains, he describes about how he picked up her skull. And this is the woman he probably killed her. I mean, we don't know. It's an unsolved mystery.
Okay.
I don't think he probably killed her.
There's something suspicious.
I think he's just a very strange man.
That's hard if you're
All right.
if you're born strange. A lot of times you just go to jail just for being a fucking icky wicky little weirdo.
Yeah, that's the
A
problem.
lot of guys go to jail for being icky wicky weirdos. I don't think he's
Damien
I don't get a
Eccles.
murderer vibe from him.
So
Yeah,
what
Damien
happened with
Eccles.
the skeleton?
But he picked up the skeleton and he's
Damien
like,
Eccles was innocent also, by the
I'm
way.
saying, but because he was an icky wicky little weirdo at the time, he went to jail for that.
He was just poor.
Both. You can be poor and weird. Look at all of us. Look at how we all grew up.
True.
And he lifted up the skull of his precious wife, and he's like, and so I sat with them for a while, and they let me sit with her for 25 minutes, and he's like, and just so she knew that I was there, I gave it a little kiss. And he said he picked up her fucking rotting skull.
A skull
And
that they'd found in the forest after being out there for months.
Well, this is how COVID started.
Hey, he didn't try to sell it at market. He just looked at it, and it was just like, because
Why would he do that?
And he actually took it further. Like, he eventually ended up being the guy in custody of the remains, and he ended up sleeping with the remains at night, like, and cuddling. And he said he would cuddle with the box that contained his wife's ashes.
So I'm going to have a time machine here, and I don't want to go far back. I'm just going to go back 90 seconds, Marcus. When you said you don't get serial killer vibes, how don't you? Because the man is sleeping with a corpse, and he seems quite happy about it. That is, to me, that's like red flag is up.
But no, he wasn't happy about it at all. Like, it's, people react very strangely when they're grieving. This guy was devastated, and this was how he grieved. This was because he couldn't stand to not have her around anymore, and the closest he could get was like cuddling, and he would talk to the ashes too. Like, he would pretend that she was still alive.
I mean, I guess that's relatively normal. Every grandma and grandpa that has lost their partner, my grandma used to talk to Herb, her husband, forever. I mean, even though she definitely helped kill him.
No, my Mimar had a GD. She had the shoebox of my grandfather's ashes on the chair every day, which she'd watch her Fox News, and she'd pat him, and it was great for them, I guess. But do you think that there's a time when you just come in super hammered, and your wife's ashes is in your little waifu body pillow that you're now gonna, I guess, what are you gonna do? You normally sleep with it, and at some point you're like, she never let me go on her face. But she always said that she was kind of
maybe that's
into
because
it.
you called it going on her face.
She just said, hey, maybe we'll do it for her 50th birthday. And guess what? I was 50 3 days ago.
Oh,
so
that's sad.
Let's just whip one out. One last
Well, how do you know
go-around.
if the ashes are her face, her butt, her calves, her shoulder? It's ashes.
That just roll the dice, my friend.
Roll the dice. All right. Well, if you're going to ask to come on your significant other, do not say go on your face. You mind if I go on your face?
If I go on your face?
Although
And
I
then-
could see that happening in the heat of passion. I could see that.
Yeah, you like go on your face, but the problem is make sure you both have the same meaning of go.
Yes, because all of a sudden she's waiting for Dookie. And then the ice cream comes. All right. Well, Marcus, what are some of the researches? What's some of the unsolved mysteries that we want to share with the audience?
Well, we're not talking the new Unsolved Mysteries. We're talking old school Unsolved Mysteries. We're talking Robert Stack Unsolved Mysteries.
My man Stack.
Now, one of the most satisfying experiences one could have while watching Unsolved Mysteries were the updates.
Yeah.
When you
Yes.
discovered what seemed to be the fruits of everyone's shared experience watching the show, even if you never actually called in a tip yourself. If there was an update and and it looked like something was solved, you felt like you did something because you were watching.
Can you imagine the suicide rate of the people that work at the hotline for Unsolved Mysteries? They must have received the craziest phone calls.
Yeah.
And then at some point, they must have just become friends with someone who desperately needed a partner in life.
People talk about that all the time, about the trauma of being a suicide helpline operator, being a 911 operator. It's really difficult on the brain. And same thing with the suicide rate of the people that spend their lives going through content on Facebook, removing all the child pornography and beheadings and shit that they have to watch because they can't figure out proper bots that can figure it out on their own.
Well, that is the premise of a classic horror splatter film, Evil Ed.
Now, as we know, there were quite a few mysteries that ended up being solved because the show got the case's attention, although many of those mysteries were solved simply by viewers recognizing a photo, as opposed to the tireless sleuthing of amateur detectives.
That is why I actually feel bad for Patton Oswalt's now deceased wife, Miss McNamara.
I mean, this show,
Because-
she is legit. She had become like a cop at the end.
But the problem is, all it takes is a DNA Ancestry.com search, and then the case is solved. So 20 years of this woman's life, or 10 years, kind of got scooped by a Google search.
The documentary very carefully shows that it was her idea to check 23andMe, but yes, it was after she passed that they did all of the exhaustive breakdown of all the different families and all of the people. Like, it took like 2 years of work just to get through all of the different people that were involved.
Yeah. Well, almost makes you not want to work at all, right, Marcus? What's the point, huh?
What's the point? Yep. Well, sometimes viewers even recognize themselves. In one episode, a man named Craig Williamson was reported to have gone missing while on a business trip to Colorado Springs, and his wife maintained that he had to be suffering from amnesia somewhere.
I wish.
Ooh, cool.
Couldn't have just run off on his own. And as it turned out, she was right. Or at least Craig Williamson latched onto the amnesia story and stuck to it, saying that he'd been beaten by two men years before and had lost all memory of his previous life.
Yeah, babe, I just been like, whoa, I just, whew.
Yeah, you have amnesia, huh? You don't remember.
That's what I have.
You have
That's what I had. That's
Interesting.
the word. You know what? The amnesia caused me to forget
the family,
I had
the bills.
Amnesia, first of all, to begin with.
Because you left and we had the car payments and we had all those things that we had to pay for.
Man, what a fucking hassle that sounds like.
Yeah, it was pretty rough for me. I was then single and I was looking for you and stuff.
Yeah, I teach people how to bodyboard now.
In Colorado Springs, evangelical Christian capital of the country, by the way.
That's right. Now, but also one of the most fun shows that we ever did. Our show in Colorado Springs. That was one of my favorite live shows ever.
That was an incredible show.
It was 421 because the 420 show in Denver was almost impossible to do because everyone was too high to react, and then they didn't have the projector.
React, too high to set up the stage.
That was fun.
We performed on 6 inches in front of the stage because everyone that worked there, not to slander this place, is probably closed because it wasn't even great barbecue. Now I am slandering it, but that's just the facts. They were too stoned to set up the stage, and they were like, "Oh, a show's happening? Like a show's happening?" It was like 7:59. We're like, "Show's at 8." God, I was never more mad at stoners in my life. I love weed, but give me a good alcoholic to set up the stage.
That Denver, that 420 in Denver made me look at my use of weed. Like, it made me take a step back and being like,
oh my God,
how much shit has fallen through the cracks in my own life?
I ended up in the fetal position in the hotel shower because someone gave me weed beef jerky and I didn't know it was weed until way too late. Great beef jerky, though.
Now, this guy, Craig Williamson, he did return to his wife after seeing himself on the show. But either he changed too much in the intervening years, or he'd run away for a reason, because he and his wife ended up divorcing not too long after the reunion.
Especially when you have to do the Linus walk with the sad thing with your blanket, like back to your wife, leaving your whole world of smoking weed with snow bunnies, teaching people how to bodyboard on the ground.
This is insane.
But that's not to say Unsolved Mysteries didn't lead to big arrests when it came to murder.
Yes.
In 1988, viewers in Moses Lake, Washington, recognized murderers Missy Mundy and Jerry Strickland as new arrivals to the area, and they promptly called the police.
Yeah, Missy Monday. Yeah, I'd recognize that gaunt anywhere. There. I'm trying to find a word for taint. Missy Monday just sounds like it's just a lot of brown down there. A lot of pooping going on there.
It sounds like Misty Monday that was in, I believe it was a Planet of the Naked Apes. It was do you remember that? It was a bunch of weird
Planet of the Naked Apes.
Misty Monday was in a bunch of soft core movie parodies.
Was she in Dinosaur Island?
Are you thinking
She
about
was in
Misty?
Dinosaur
You're
Island?
thinking about Misty Mountains.
No, I'm thinking about Misty Monday.
Her name was Misty Monday.
Yep. Misty Monday. That's a Roger Corman classic right there.
No kidding.
You'd love it. It's dinosaurs and tits.
Yep.
Well, what if you jerk off to the dinosaurs?
The problem is that you masturbate.
What if you come when a T-Rex is on camera? Next thing you know, you can never find love because they're extinct.
I want to hear your story then. I want to hear your story as a paleonsexualius.
That's right. AKA dinosaur fucker.
Well, Missy Mundy, 17, when her 26-year-old boyfriend Jerry shot a money courier in the head for $11,000 at a gas station, she actually turned on Jerry and avoided major jail time.
What a shocker.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
Well, Jerry is still doing life in prison.
I'm going to say this to you right now. If you're planning to kill somebody over $11,000,
it's a lot of money.
Right now, but I will say right now it sounds like a lot of money until you kill somebody for $11,000. And then the money's gone in 2 months. And then if you have to kill again, you're going to be like, oh, I might as well get a job.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like someone that would kill somebody for $11,000. First of all, that's not the least amount of money we've heard people dying for. Some people die over $1.
Yep.
You go to a casino, you flip that. Next thing you got $22,000. Boom, you flip that again. Next thing you know, you're looking at $44,000. Boom, you flip that again. Next thing you know, you're middle class.
Never. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. If you get a LinkedIn invite from KMM, Kissel Money Management, literally never respond.
I think I can turn that 10 grand into 20 pretty quick. But the strange thing is I could also lose it even faster.
I could see you on a series of billboards in Los Angeles with your new catchphrase, boom, flip it.
Boom, flip it. Boom, flip it is so good, Marcus. You don't even know what you just did. Boom, flip it.
Unsolved Mysteries was even responsible for catching a potential serial killer named Edward Bell. He'd killed a roughneck named Larry Dickens in 1978, but he later confessed to killing 11 girls, although no evidence of those murders was ever found.
Holy shit.
Interesting note about that episode, Larry Dickens was played by Matthew McConaughey in one of his very first credited acting roles.
That's incredible.
He was a reenactor at first.
Yeah.
Why do people go into the police station and do this thing where it's like, all right, we got you for the murder on Larry Dickens. And they sit there and be like, I'll do you one better. I also killed 11 young girls. And they're all like, man, we didn't even fucking ask you about that.
Well, I don't understand how you can have no evidence. Isn't there a family attached to these 11 girls? Isn't someone like, oh yeah, my daughter did go missing. That's right. Like, how is there
Well, he
no
doesn't
evidence?
know the names of the victims. And a lot of times what these guys do is that they'll confess to murders in order to get favors. They're like, I'll confess these 11 murders. I'll tell you where these bodies are. And it's like, what is it? Henry Lee Lucas. Henry Lee Lucas did it just Henry Lee Lucas did it for strawberry milkshakes.
I mean, to be honest, you're in jail.
Hey, man.
A strawberry milkshake will lift your mood.
Unsolved Mysteries, though, also helped with cases that seemed unsolvable. An episode in 1993 featured a box of bones discovered by a man named Newell Sessions, who discovered a human skeleton with a bullet lodged in its skull and a trunk he'd received from a friend named Gabby Morris, who said he bought the trunk at a yard sale and didn't know there was a skeleton inside.
To be honest, you probably got that skeleton at a deal. Because if you're just buying a trunk, because a human skeleton probably go for about $2,000.
It's real expensive, yeah.
I would think so, yeah, absolutely.
Very expensive.
That's a great macabre episode of Storage Wars going on here. I like this.
If Storage Wars was real, there would be so
my God,
many more.
well, yes, reality television producers plan things. Are you going to do that?
No, I'm just saying, because the storage unit that we have, we go and there's a man, I walk in there every day and there's a guy washing himself in a bucket, living in there. He's going like, hey, neighbor. Like, he just says that every time I walk in. And I was like, I don't live here, sir. I just store things here. It's like, yeah, me too. I store me.
Well, he's a very smart man, and rent is too damn high.
Well, during the Unsolved Mystery segment on the bones, it was mentioned that a grocery bag from a supermarket in Iowa was found with a skeleton, which caught the attention of Shelley Statler, whose grandfather had disappeared from Des Moines in 1963. It wasn't until 2017 that the bones were finally tested. And sure enough, they were discovered to be the remains of Joseph Mulvaney, Shelley's missing grandfather.
Damn.
And as it turned out, Mulvaney's stepson was Gabby Morris.
What? All right, explain
Wait,
again.
what?
Explain this. Explain the connections again.
All right, so Gabby Morris gave this box of bones to a friend named Newell Sessions.
Wait, so Gabby is a guy.
Gabby is a man, yeah.
See,
short
I felt like Bill O'Reilly for a second. I was like, now what's going on? Now it was the grandson, but now it's Gabby. She's a woman now, and how does all this work?
It's like Gabby Hayes, the old act, Gabby Hayes. You know, the old
I've
actor.
never heard the name Gabby in a masculine sense, but I'm here for it.
It is short for Gabstifer.
Well, from what the grandchild said, Mulvaney and Gabby's mother had an awful relationship. The mother was abusive, and Shelley believed that her grandmother shot and killed Mulvaney, then buried the remains in the trunk. Then, some years later, for reasons unknown, Gabby Morris dug up the trunk and carted it around the country for years on multiple moves before finally leaving it with his friend Newell Sessions.
Was he fucking John Candy from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? What do you mean? He just had this thing with him. He just had this trunk with him everywhere he went.
Yeah.
I have moved several times with whole collections of bullshit that you just don't and I keep bringing oh no, I definitely need this nutcracker. Meanwhile, I
What for all
particularly
the walnuts you eat around Christmas?
But honestly, I only really liked shelled nuts. I don't want to crack the nuts.
Well, Gabby Morris thought that he could just give his friend the trunk and maybe the friend would never open it. Because Gabby, he pretty much knew that his stepfather's bones were in there, even though he had nothing to do with the murder. And actually, he was kind of right, because, to this day, no charges have ever been leveled against Gabby Morris.
Well, what did he do wrong? I mean,
he didn't do anything wrong.
He just ran an illegal mortuary, if we want to use the words of fucking, if we wanted to.
is that from The Birds?
That's from Gacy.
That's John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, if there's anything I'm guilty of, it's running an unlicensed cemetery.
Yeah, John, and you're not a very funny clown either.
But can you imagine having, you know what, honestly? I'd give a fucking trunk full of bones to Kissel, because Kissel's not really a detail-oriented person.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
true.
You find your friend that wouldn't open the trunk. We all have a friend that would just have it sit in his house and not know and not care. And if they open it up, they'd be like, oh, Halloween. This is a Halloween decoration.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't react that much. I don't react to many what other people would react to as catastrophic events. I've just been through so many that I don't even feel them anymore.
Do you think it's just a hole in your personality?
No, I think it's a defense mechanism that keeps us successful.
You know what? I appreciate it. You have COVID-19 of the soul.
But even though Unsolved Mysteries was responsible for cracking over 200 cases, one murder case that it ended up solving wasn't even a crime in the first place, but was instead an elaborate hoax that got way out of hand. And the whole thing was cooked up by morning zoo radio DJs.
And they say that we don't contribute anything to society.
Man cow here.
On June 13th, 1990, in Los Angeles, the K-Rock morning crew, Kevin and the Bean, that was Kevin Ryder and Gene Bean Baxter, they ran a segment called Confess Your Crime, in which listeners were encouraged to call in and do just that, confess a crime.
Solid.
This is actually a brilliant radio idea.
It's a good bit. It's a really
That's
good
a
bit.
great bit.
But at 9 a.m., things took a dark turn when a caller telephoned in refusing to give his name. He said that he'd done something terrible and he needed to confess. And for some reason, Kevin and the Bean in the morning seemed the perfect place to do it.
Tell me, we want to tell us immediately, and don't have a cow, man. Merle, you got it, Bean. How you doing, Bean? I'm feeling it today, dude. I had 5 scoops this morning. I can't even say anything because I am one of these people.
No, I mean, morning zoo is that's our grandfather, so we can't diss him too much.
Not too much.
Well, the caller continued by saying that he'd had a girlfriend for about 6 years and was on the verge of marrying her. But it all ended when he came home one day to find her in bed with a good friend of his.
Is this Garth Brooks?
Ooh, and the thunder rolls.
Did he really kill someone and then write The Thunder Rolls?
All I know is Chris Gaines is the single greatest transition in music history, and I love Garth Brooks.
But Chris Gaines wasn't successful, though.
No, I know, but I loved it. That was when, if you just appeared to be a metrosexual, people thought you were extra.
Yeah, it's super
And
extra.
so he just combed his hair, and everyone's like, "Whoa, there's no way that's Garth. That's Chris Gaines."
And I will say, if anybody killed somebody, it was never Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks said no.
No.
It was Chris Gaines. And he explained that to the police probably several times, and they probably let him off just thinking like, yeah, you're right. And we'll never catch Chris Gaines because your hair's not dyed right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So after this caller told the story about coming home and finding his girlfriend in bed with his best friend, he seemed a little hesitant to continue. But after Kevin and the Bean did the requisite amount of morning zoo prodding, like, come on, man, tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Give us a 3-farter, would you? We haven't had a 3-farter yet. Nice.
Well, after that, the caller admitted that he'd beaten his girlfriend badly after the discovery. And after a little bit more prodding, he admitted that he'd beaten her to death.
That's a rough fucking War of the Roses call to
This is
have on fucking traffic night.
This is 9 o'clock in the morning, so you know they also have to cut to commercial at some point, and it's just like, this is Terry with Mifflin Tires. Come on down, 3 for 1. Oh, more like 1 for 3.
Yeah, and then immediately it's been like, that sounds pretty wacky. You know what else is wacky? Tonight, Bob Saget with America's Funniest Home Videos.
Kevin and the Bean passed the 4-minute phone call off as 100% real, sounding suitably shaken after the supposed confessed murder hung up when the DJs began suggesting that he get help for his problems.
Wow, nothing like Kevin and the Bean telling someone that they need help. If Kevin and the Bean is telling you to seek mental help, you are crazy as shit.
Sometimes it's nice to get, you never know when that really good reach out, where it's going to come from.
Kevin and the Bean.
Who knows? Kevin and the Clit might do it.
Yeah.
What listeners didn't know, though, and what Kevin and the Bean never said, was that the whole thing was a setup.
Yep.
In reality, the caller was a fellow radio DJ from Arizona named Doug the Slug Roberts.
They both just have nicknames that rhyme with their first name.
Gene the Bean and Doug the Slug.
Welcome back to Doug the Slug Radio. We're gonna get the let out here. Man, it's easy to fill time when you're Doug the Slug because it's
Get the salt! Here he comes!
oh no!
Now, the whole point of this stunt was to get attention. You know, give people a little water cooler talk.
Hold on a second. You think morning zoo DJs, did they want attention? I don't know about that.
I am desperate for attention.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what they later said. They're like, we just wanted somebody, give some people something to talk about at the water cooler, like have people talking about Kevin and the Bean after they get to work.
Why do they all sound like Doug's best friend? Skeeter. They all sound like Skeeter.
But as it turned out, people take murder confessions pretty seriously.
Oh, even in the 90s, huh?
Even in the 90s, yeah. Mm-hmm. The station received immediately 60 calls and several faxes from people who thought that maybe they knew the identity of the killer. Then the LA County Sheriff's Office got involved because, after all, they very well couldn't ignore a public murder confession. And when they spoke with Kevin and the Bean, the zoo crew did not own up to the hoax and just kept playing along.
Because at this point, you are locked into the bit. I know this, unfortunately. I can see myself going to jail for a bit.
For the bit.
Not understanding that it's a crime to just lie to the police, like not knowing, just keep saying like, because every time I say something and I look over at Kissel and give him a wink. You know what I mean? Like, right, yeah, he beat her to death.
Yeah. Henry, you're probably going to tell the cops it was all a joke, buddy, because I'm in cuffs, you're in cuffs. Marcus has said that he is not bailing us out again.
Kissel, I'll tell you what, there's nothing funny about a man beating a woman to death. You know
I
what I'm
see
saying?
that you're trying to make the joke still, Henry. We are in custody.
Well, because Kevin and the Bean gave statements to the police as if this whole thing was real, the officer put in charge of the case, Sergeant John Yarborough, spent weeks sifting through leads and coordinating further investigations with police around the country who are looking to clear similar cold cases.
This is the type of situation that explains why sometimes a cop will pull you over for having like a broken taillight and give you like 5 tickets. This is like one of those things. You can see him doing this all day and then leaving and being like, you know what, fuck this guy on a bicycle.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy. I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
That's the scary thing. That's why cops need therapy, too.
I agree.
Well, after that, the local news picked up the story, and television crews mobbed K-Rock to interview Kevin and the Bean, who just kept saying over and over how stunned they were at the whole situation.
Dude, I can't believe a guy would call in here and tell us that he beat a woman to death. Right?
Can you stop winking, Kevin? This is very serious. I'm Bean. I always love that Morning Zoo Radio does establish alpha character and beta character immediately. Always.
And for a while, it worked out for everyone. Ratings went up, and probably going off of the recommendation of Kevin and the Bean, Doug the Slug was hired as the 9 to midnight guy for K-Rock.
This is why people
That
like
is a great
Epstein
time for
exist.
him.
But this is the type of like nepotism that you see mirrored in all society, where you got Doug the Slug. What kind of meritocracy allows Doug the Slug to get the nighttime spot?
Honestly, that's perfect. I mean, he probably led to a lot of drivers falling asleep and getting into car accidents and dying. But nonetheless, Doug the Slug, 9 to midnight, that's a perfect shift.
That's a good shift, yeah. See, the whole thing was on its way to petering out because Sergeant Yarborough said that he'd suspected the whole thing was a hoax from the very beginning. But everything changed when the call was aired on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, no. Shit. This joke
that's when
is
it went nationwide.
Whoa. Hey, Bean, I think we're in trouble, man.
Yeah, I'd say we were. That wasn't even like a bit fart, man. That was a sad fart. That was actually a worried fart.
Still funny, though, Bean. Still funny, Bean.
Well, the segment in question involved 19-year-old Angela Cummings, who had been discovered dead in her boyfriend's home in Northern California just 2 months after Doug the Slug played the part of the killer on Kevin and the Bean. Now, by total coincidence, the story that Doug the Slug made up matched a lot of the details in the Angela Cummings murder.
Not good. I think he did it.
And as a result, the LA County Sheriff's Department received 400 calls from would-be sleuths.
Oh, shit.
Now, Kevin, the Bean, and the Slug had all decided they were going to take this thing to the grave, if at all possible.
Just tell the truth. It is so much worse to do it like that.
To everybody out here listening, all right, we all love bits, right? But Andy Kaufman's life was ruined by bits, and no one still believes he's dead. Right? They still don't believe he's dead. I honestly still hold out some hope that Andy Kaufman will show up, but it doesn't help your life to be locked in a lie in a bit. Now, it's going to take you to court.
Well, 10 months after the Unsolved Mysteries episode aired, one of the 3 of them trusted the wrong intern. Told him the whole story.
It was the Bean. First of all, what do you mean one of the 3? It wasn't Doug the Slug, and it certainly wasn't Kevin. It was Bean.
Yeah, the Bean was fucking flirting with Demetria, the new 23-year-old intern that showed up being like, yeah, you know, radio's kind of different because of the stress, you know. It's just like, it's a whole thing. And she's just like, yeah.
Is that why you fart so much, Bean?
Yeah, I am a lot deeper than it would be. See, I can't escape it. I'm the Bean no matter where I go. I wish I could shut the Bean off.
Man, that's your moneymaker, baby. Come on.
Well, after this intern discovered the truth, He called the sheriff and turned in the zoo crew.
That's just a bad employee.
I wonder because I love the idea of like I never want to get to the area where I'm like trust testing like everyone in the network. You know what I mean? Like floating a fake lie to see if someone says something and then be like, that's our leak. Like they do what the CIA does.
Right, yeah. No, absolutely. Of course, we trust everyone that works here at the LPN network. We only do the strictest of vetting processes, which is, can you talk to Ben after he's had 10 Bud Lights? The answer is yes. You're hired.
Well, as far as consequences went, all 3 DJs were suspended from K-Rock for 6 days.
Oh, my God. I mean, honestly, they just did a really good job. They did.
It's the best like radio call-in bit of all time.
This reminds me of Howard Stern's Private Parts, where he's like, the ratings are up. And then Pig Vomit is like, the ratings are up. How are the ratings up? But we hate them. And it's like Kevin and the Bean are just like, we are selling so many Godfather's Pizza ads. This is amazing. All we had to do was pretend that we know someone who killed a woman.
It's the funniest bit we could think of.
This is brilliant.
Well, they were also ordered to perform 149 hours of community service each.
The worst landscaping crew ever. Imagine Kevin and the Bean cleaning up the highways?
No, it's the same if the fucking 3 of us had to clean up the highways. It would just be me just going like, it's hot. It's hot. I got my shoes dirty.
Well, you guys picked up 30 bags of Fritos and a bunch of different things here on the side on the street, but you left 5,000 cigarette butts.
Oh, yeah, I made those cigarette butts.
Yeah, you did that. So technically the streets are dirtier than ever. Thank you.
They were also ordered to pay $12,170 to the sheriff's department to replace the funds officers spent investigating the non-existent crime.
Wow.
Well, the 149 hours of community service, that was to match the 149 hours the officers spent investigating this bullshit.
This is so petty.
They got a little petty. The officers are a little petty.
That was the judge. That wasn't the officers.
The judge is a little petty.
I love it. I love a creative sentence.
Yeah. Well, actually, Kevin and the Bean, they were still going on K-Rock as the morning show until March of this year.
No shit.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, that's when the longtime K-Rock morning crew was unceremoniously fired. And I looked it up and I saw Bean it was either Kevin or the Bean, one of the two, put out a tweet that said, we just got fired. They had security come up and escort me out. Don't know why. I would have gone quietly.
That happened to me. When I gave my speech to the headhunting agency and I threw my tie at him saying like, I am not to be bought and sold. I am not a product to be moved. I am a man. I'm a man with a mind, a man with a soul.
Yes, you are. Did you fart?
That's my bit. This is my torture. I am doomed to make every child smile.
Honestly, I think that you always have to escort the Bean out with security. Even if he's not fired. I just feel like otherwise he's going to sleep there. Yeah. Because you know he doesn't have a house.
No. This is a third divorce. Like, by this point, this is on the third divorce. You're living on a boat that's not a houseboat.
You think that's a joke, but I personally know someone who was living at WABC, and he's a great guy. He's a character, I'll say that. But it was after his last divorce that I was like, you're sleeping here. And that's a strange revelation when you think that someone might be successful, and then you realize they're just sleeping in their office at a defunct radio station.
That's why our big goal is to move offices for Last Podcast Network so that it's more nice, just in case when one of us goes through our first divorce, we have a place to go to that we can also work really hard into the night and then force everybody else to work with you.
Perfect. I love it. Well, it'll be one of you two. Mm-hmm. Who gets divorced first? Well, that's another fun game for Kevin and the Bean.
Doug the Slug, on the other hand, he's been a Sirius XM DJ on the Lithium channel for years. He goes by Sluggo.
I didn't even know that was Sluggo.
Yeah, that's Sluggo.
You know Sluggo, Henry.
I don't know him.
But you listen to Lithium all the time.
Yeah, so I could feel contemporary again because then my songs for my generation are on the radio.
So you know Sluggo?
Well, I listen to Sluggo every time. And
How is he?
He sounds like a Sluggo, and he's very cynical. because he's Generation X.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? So his whole thing is him just being like, yeah, you people are going out there and, there's some people out there even thinking about going out to vote. Like saying stuff like that, being like, they say to rock the vote, more like mock the vote. All right, let's play some Alice in Chains.
Always with the fucking Alice in Chains. It's nothing but Alice in Chains.
But you know what?
Wow.
Every month, I fall in love with them.
Really?
There's
I could
one
get into
song,
some Alice in Chains.
It's
The Rooster.
The Rooster is a good song. Man in the Box, great song.
Yep.
Spoon
Gwyneth
Man,
Paltrow's head. Spoon Man's great.
great
Spoonman's
song.
a Soundgarden song.
Yeah. So now look who's stupid bean.
I wish I could stop.
Well,
I wish I wasn't born this way.
you're too good, Bean. You're too good for this world.
But as stupid as the Morning Zoo crew's actions were, I think Unsolved Mysteries also share some of the blame here. See, the thing about the call is that Doug the Slug very clearly said that he'd beaten his girlfriend to death. Furthermore, it was implied that the murder occurred in Los Angeles. The murder of Lisa Cummings, on the other hand, that was death by gunshot, not by beating, and it had occurred 450 miles away in the strange little Northern California town of Yuba City.
Yuba is Spanish for tuba.
Yes, indeed. I love that.
So it's Tuba City, but that's how you pronounce it in the Spanish. You pronounce it Yuba.
Very nice.
It's a very strange little town. I used to spend summers there when I was a kid. That's where my aunt and uncle lived in Yuba City.
Really?
No kid.
Weird place.
For some reason, I don't see you and your family traveling well.
No, we traveled great.
Really? Because
Yeah, we drove from Texas to Yuba City.
I think the problems are when they're at home.
Yeah. I can just
we
see
traveled
that.
great.
There's a ragtag group of people there. You and your older brothers just being
When we
being
all hung
Texan.
out in New York, we had a blast. Like the little mini bachelor party
we
that we were at.
had fun, but I don't know if the bartenders really enjoyed the Texan sensibility.
They loved it. They were all, they got the big cowboy hats on. Everybody loved it.
Well, I love the Texan male, very flamboyant dressers, great dancers.
Fantastic
Great
dancers.
Your whole
yes.
family's a great bunch of dancers, Mr. Parks.
Thank you very much.
If I ever got married, and you could see how the Germans move.
But you know what's, yeah, we've seen how the German moves. They get their feet real high and they love to point at the clouds.
Yes, indeed they do. They see a lot of stuff in those clouds.
Well, to put the distance into perspective there, while both LA and Yuba City are in California, the distance between the two is roughly the same as the distance between Los Angeles and Phoenix, which
damn.
isn't very close at all.
No.
Right.
What it seems like to me is that a producer on Unsolved Mysteries had discovered this call. They wanted to use it in some capacity, and they shoehorned it into the Lisa Cummings episode. Because let's face it, a radio caller confessing to a murder is great fucking television.
Absolutely.
It really is. Do you remember that famous call from Coast to Coast AM from the guy who said he worked at Area 51? Those panicked calls.
very panicked,
I mean, that's the only show that still has great calls. I was listening to an episode recently with Jacques Vallée. I don't think it was that long. I think it was not that recently. I just said that the other day that 2012 was just like, oh, it was not that long ago. It was only 2012. And they're like, it's fucking almost a decade ago.
Yes, indeed.
But Jacques Vallée, I still love the calls on Coast to Coast AM because it's still like someone going like, "Yeah, this is Ted. I'm coming down I-95 and tell me you think, do you think that Buffalo can possibly be magnets for ghosts?" And I'll take my answer off the air. Thank you very much. And like that kind of shit. I love it.
I love that indeed. When I replaced the late Alan Combs there on the radio, I loved the calls. Of course, it was Fox News Radio, so I had to argue with a lot of white supremacists and also people who really believed Alex Jones. And I wish I could actually talk to them now, given the past 2 years of Alex Jones literally calling himself it's dotarded, but he used the R on Joe Rogan. I watched that clip again where Alex Jones is like, yeah, I'm kind of,
Beep, beep. Oh, yeah. He was a mess on that show.
Yes, he was.
And he ruined everything for himself on that show.
Yes,
Truly.
he did. Yes, he
And
did.
besides all his whole, it took that. It took him smoking a joint and being drunk off his ass on camera to destroy him, despite all of the other horribly destructive things that he's done.
If you want to have 3 hours of fun times, watch his deposition on Sandy Hook. Quite fascinating.
Have y'all been updated on his DWI arrest? Do we know what's going on with that? The one where he said that, like, I was just going out to get ice cream with my wife.
No, we talked about it a little bit on Side Stories, but yeah, it was.
Then he has to walk home, and then he walked home.
Well, he got in because the whole thing was that they were in a. He said he was trying to get ice cream with his wife, but it turned out they were in a massive fight.
And then she got in the car.
drove off. She drove off.
She drove off. Then he walked home. Then he got home, and then they got into another fight, and then he drove off.
But he then did. Technically, he was going for ice cream, but it was for a middle of fight. I need some ice cream.
And then she called the cops on him.
As she should. He was hammered. Driving like a
afternoon
snake.
vodka.
Yeah, it was to relax.
Yeah, well, all right. I don't think that man does relax.
Unfortunately, no good whatsoever came out of the Confess Your Crime hoax because the murder of Lisa Cummings is still unsolved to this day.
Oh,
Jesus
come
Christ.
on. We got to solve that dang murder. That's unfortunate.
And we're doing it tonight.
We're doing it tonight, Bean? Bean, you want to do that? That's the most. I haven't heard you so happy in years, Bean.
I'm going to tell you honestly that was unplanned, and I have unfortunately I have shit in my basketball shorts.
Okay, well, that's dropping on the floor, Bean. Thank you so much for not wearing underwear.
And this is a thing to remember to everybody. Any caller on the radio is fake.
Oh, all of the war. I mean, we know actors. We know actors. All the War of the Roses. Not real. Unfortunately, they used to be real, but then I think some actual domestic violence was occurring, and they had to fake it.
So because I did them.
Well, and Jenny Jones, if you recall Jenny Jones, that murder where the guy came out as he loved this other guy, and then the guy was like, "Oh, I'm too embarrassed," and he kills that guy. So Jenny Jones kind of ruined it also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then, so Jerry Springer, all that stuff, I don't even think those people are in the Klan.
I mean, that's a big leap to hire a bunch of BG and being like, okay, here are your robes. Here you go. Just don't worry about this. Don't worry. One size fit all.
They are so horny to become famous. They would do it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
Definitely not.
And that is the Unsolved Mysteries Roundup.
All right. Wow. That is incredible. It's amazing the power of radio, what it used to be for people. You know, I mean, nowadays it's all, it's mostly commercials. Nowadays,
this is the world of radio. It's like this, and now we're seeing what happens. We have the people break stuff all the time. Break stuff. Yeah. People go in, like, their history is being made by podcasts more often than not.
Yeah, and what an exciting conversation that would be if we had that, but we won't because I was joking about it being exciting. Okay, so
there's still some good radio out there. I enjoy listening to WFUV in the shower. They're great. They're the college radio station out of Fordham. They do well.
There it is, folks. The Radio Roundup.
He likes radio. He's talking about radio.
I'm happy for him. I love that. I am, all right. Yes, also Outlaw Country on Sirius.
I love Outlaw Country. I love Willie Nelson's. I want to say it's Willie Nelson's backyard.
No, it's
I love Ozzy's Boneyard. There's a lot of yards on XM.
Willie Nelson's, what the hell is it called?
Gravelly Bush.
It's called Willie's Roadhouse.
Yeah. Willie's Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's a lot of locations where... And I don't know why Sirius XM always has a thing where you go to like on a radio station. It's like they pretend like it's a house that you're hanging out in.
Yeah, of course.
But the whole time you're like, but I'm not hanging out in a house. I'm in a car.
What's the name of that rodeo? The country jamboree. That show
Texas Cowboy. Are you talking about the Texas Cowboy Reunion?
No, it's called something Jamboree. It's on Outlaw Country. I heard the same show about 8 times when I was driving across country with my dogs, hanging out, chewing tobacco.
I hate this. I hate road weary Ben Kissel.
Yeah, all of a sudden all them billboards just look like pretty old girls.
She's jerking off the billboards. Sexualize a bunch of flat, just flat boards.
Oh yeah, country band. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for listening. We hope you're doing all right out there in Radio Land. I don't know what to do now. We'll be taking your calls.
Check out the merch.
Yes, check out merch.
You literally physically have to. Lastpodcastmerch.com. Check it out. We've got our fan design shirt that is up yon, and we are going to have a new one next month. That is coming very soon. I want y'all to check out our live show, Last Podcast Live. Remember that?
Remember when we could do that? That show was a hoot, and we're figuring out what's happening for next year. I think we'll be able to see y'all at some point next year.
Next year, my goal is just go from house to house with no one knows that there's a show, and
Right.
we just get a megaphone and we just do the show at people's house, and then say we won't leave until you pay us.
Yeah, we can start busking. I like that idea. No problem there. Absolutely. Yeah, check out the merch. Check out all the great shows here on the Last Podcast Network. Check out, if you want to know about music, Marcus Parks and Carolina Hidalgo, they are working on a little series on the Cramps right now, which is awesome.
Yeah, if you've been waiting for the Cramp series to be over before you listen to it all, Part 3 was released on Thursday. So go check that out. Cramps
There you
1,
go.
2, 3.
Check out page 7. They're doing a very in-depth breakdown of Britney Spears right now, which
Love
is
it.
actually very fascinating.
Leave Britney alone. If she is being held under lock and key against her will by her father, get Britney out of there. Indeed, she's been abused by the industry for too long. That's what I think.
To be honest,
Justin Timberlake was the only relationship she had where she was truly treated as an equal. And I think he deserves some credit for that.
you know a lot about this. To
do.
be
I
honest,
love
though,
Britney.
I'm one of those where it's like, I feel like I'm very sad for Britney that she was abused by the Hollywood system, but I'm like, I could have used some more of that.
Yeah, but you
abuse.
didn't look like her at 16.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably at the same cup size.
Well, that's very possible. The LPN show, speaking of music, we had Mackenzie Nicole on for this week. Next week, we'll have some more great people that are in the network or around the network, whatever it might be. And top hat, we got politics, we got wrestling, kind of fun. We got, well, you know, all the shows, all the nerd stuff you ever wanted to hear from two of the nerdiest people we know on Wizard and the Bruiser.
This is the only place where it's really not an insult. Where because they are such excruciating nerds,
They
it
are.
makes the show really good.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what they. Holding could also be the Bean. He would be a great Bean.
He would be.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Hope you're doing okay out there. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan!
Go Geen.
Magustalations, everybody.
Hail me, you trashy little monsters.
Oh, wow. Bean. Oh, you still got it. I can't believe they fired you.
Unfortunately, I went to the doctor the other day, and they said the farts are mostly caused by, seems to be a malignant tumor has kind of grown pretty significantly in my colon, so
Bean.
I have 6 months to live.
That is great, Bean. This is.
It's happening every 30 seconds now.
It seems like it.
I'm decaying.
Yes, you are, Bean.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.